All right, my name is Dan Sheff. If you haven't met me before, I work for the OPP Immediate Office doing things around IT modernization and customer experience. And so we just wanted to get out some information to everyone today about some new features that are available in MyPest for you as a customer. Um, and and just to emphasize some instructions around it and some qualifications about it. So I have on the screen here, I've already logged in and selected my organization. Just to go back there to that main page, if you are working on behalf of many organizations, you will need to be logged into the appropriate one. So if you need to change between them, you can always go back to the home screen and select your organization and press go. Zooming in just a little bit here. And so from here, we're going to talk about the bilingual label certification process in MyPest as it's been deployed uh, recently. So you can navigate to your View All Products page from either this tile on the right side of the screen, or if you are scrolled up to the top, you can select the Products tab up top. So if I select the Products tab, that will bring me to this page where it lists all of my products. This organization in our test organization only has the one product. And I will zoom out just a little bit to make sure we get all of the fields on the screen. In terms of general navigation, you still have your search bar up here, which has been present since this product page was deployed. And so you can start searching using any of the letters in your product or any of the registration numbers. You'll see that if I start typing something that doesn't exist in any of my products, that would return no results down in the rows here. So if you know exactly which product that you'd like to certify, or if you have a certain qualifying characteristic that you can search by, that's one way to do it. The other way that you can sort through your products is to use any of the columns to sort, right? So if it's a particular use type, if you want to sort out your manufacturing use products, since those are not part of the bilingual certification, you could sort it to only show you those EPs. You could also sort by signal word, especially for this first round of bilingual certifications. You want to select that one that's required this time, so you can sort directionally that way. And then we will just highlight here um, all of the tooltips that are available on this page. So everywhere that you see one of these little eye icons, you'll be able to hover over that and access some more detail there. So I'm going to hover really slowly on each of these icons just so that we can go over what's in them. So in the use type, you just have those two items, end use product and manufacturing use product. Pretty simple there. Uh, Now we have three new fields, and these are where the tooltips are really handy. So again, I'm going to hover over the tooltip here. And this column specifies that products that contain the required pre-applied bilingual labeling, manufacturing use products and products not yet subject to the requirements based on the schedule in the law may be left blank. So that's the text there. Not to be released for shipment, that's the alternative checkbox there, and products subject to bilingual labeling requirements that do not have the bilingual labeling added, but will not be released for shipment until the bilingual labeling is added. So that's another option there. And then finally, we have a Spanish labeling URL box. This is an entirely optional field to paste a URL for a product's Spanish labeling or STS if you have it and if you'd like to add it here for your product. Just a note that if the URL is very long and has a more than 255 characters, you can use any of the available URL shortening methods and post that instead. EPA does intend to make these URLs available to the public as part of its uh, requirement to make these Spanish labels accessible to the users. So those are the three tooltips that are available there. We also have the full OMB language from the ICR. This is not yet finalized, and that is with OMB still finally. And so because of that, nothing that we're talking about today is currently required to be done until that OMB review process is complete. So just highlighting here that this is entirely an optional activity for you to do at this time. EPA OPP, we wanted to get this tool out there and available for you. If you do want to go ahead and fill it out, you do have that option to go through this process right now and use the tool as it's presented. Well, now I can walk through the actual activity here. So one more item I want to highlight before I do that, though, is the results per page. It defaults to 10. If your organization has a ton of products, you can go up to 100 products per page. I highly doubt that you'll need to certify more than 100 at any given time, but just in case, you can go up to 100, and then you would have those page navigation tools both at the top and the bottom of the page if you do have more than one page of products. So you do have the option to select all. If you do have 5 products and you want to make the same selection for all 5 products, you can do that, select all. Alternatively, you can just select the single product there that you want to make a change to. So once you've selected your product or products that you want to work with, you can just go to Edit. And we'll leave this screen up for a little while here. This is very specific language related to either by selecting the bilingual labeling added box, you're certifying that all of those requirements are met for bilingual labeling added. Alternatively, you have a second statement there that says, I certify that the products with the not to be released for shipment box selected will not be released for shipment until that labeling is added and the added box is selected and certified. So those are your two options to add something to the products listed in the box below here. And if you have multiple, you would see multiple rows of all the products you've selected. And then the third option is if you made a mistake and you didn't mean to include one product and you've noticed that, you can go back in and use the remove product certification option there. So I am actually going to work through this flow. I'll select the bilingual labeling added and submit that. That'll give you one more chance to confirm that exact language again. So make sure that we've selected the right thing and that we know what it means. And if you believe that you've selected that in error, you can click the X and go back. If you agree that that's the right statement, the right selection, you can press yes, and that will finalize the flow. So let's say I picked the wrong one. I meant to pick not to be released. I can do the same thing, select not to be released. I'll get a new pop-up window with that particular language for not to be released for shipment display. And this time I'll confirm it. So you see that the page automatically updates. That checkbox is selected now for not to be released for shipment. And just to work through the actual flow and how it works, I'm going to go ahead and remove that certification from my product. And you'll see now that the selection has been removed. So those are really the 3 things that you can do on any product record. And then I also have the option to paste a free text URL here. So if I start typing, it's going to go looking for a URL. That's not what we want to do. You have a URL, you can come here and paste it, right? And that's going to save it once you've pasted it. And now you can see that that URL has been added. So you do, again, if you are adding it, please copy and paste it, the URL, rather than trying to type it out, because as you could see, the flow is actually going to try to save it as you're typing, which is not going to be a great outcome. These items have all been updated in the user guide. So there's always a permanent link to the user guide here. It's always being updated at that same link. So you want to keep that user guide in a live status by opening it whenever you need to access it from within MyPest. So that's the conclusion of the live piece of this demo, and I will just go over some slides here from this release, and not a huge amount of change that's occurred this time, but I did want to go over these just to make sure that we understand exactly what is and isn't required of you as of today, which is October 22. So there's been a little bit of a product page enhancement added. You do have the optional bilingual label certification field. You have the optional not to be released for shipment field, and you have the optional Spanish URL field. So again, highlighting here that these are all optional now, again, because the OMB process is not yet complete. I put three questions here based on some things that we've heard from the registrant community. And the first question is, I do not have any products that require certification in 2025. What do I need to do? And the answer is nothing. You do not need to do anything if you do not have any products that require certification. I am not ready to perform my bilingual labeling certification yet. What should I do? And the answer there is that certification on MyPest is still optional at this time. You are not required to do anything until the agency finalizes the ICR. The third question is, I'm not sure which selection I will make for my products. Do I need to make a selection right now? And the answer there is no. You may perform the selections now since it's available, but you are not yet required to do so. And these are all the features that we just went over in the live demo, so I won't go too much over more of it. I did include static images here, highlighting all the places that you can select, highlighting that, especially that Spanish labeling URL tooltip there, and the need to, a quick reminder to paste that URL if you do have one that you want to add. And some step-by-step instructions here, and displaying all of those pop-up windows and the instructions in the certification pop-up window, with a reminder that you can always remove the certification if needed. And just again, a quick screen here with what's all happened so far for MyPest. This is our fourth deployment here, and it's in the far bottom right of this slide, October 2025, the bilingual certification deployment. This is certainly not the end of the road, but it is the end of its current path as we've reached October 2025. And just another reminder that this is not the end of this project. There's definitely more features coming in 2026, and it's very helpful to have your feedback, especially if it can be sent through the coalition or through your other trade groups. They've done a really great job of sharing the information with OPP, and we really appreciate them collecting it for us and providing it to us. So with that, that is the end of this live demo. I hope that you'll, if you want to, you go out there and use the new tool as it's available. Thank you.